I'm on my phone, so I'm a little cautious about disturbing the setting.
Yes,
Sucheta
ma'am.
ma'am,
We
there.
have Sucheta ma'am, Neema ma'am.
Okay, that's, welcome, Sucheta ma'am. And I'm on my phone, so I'm a little cautious about disturbing.
Yes, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We have Sucheta ma'am, Neema ma'am.
Okay, Neema ma'am. Hi, Neema ma'am.
Good to see you.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you for doing this for us.
Thank you. So, yeah, so thank you, Dr. Sunita, for being here. Let me just introduce you to all our participants, and we've just been discussing the topic. So, Dr. Sunita Patil is from the KAHIR Academy, KLE Academy of Higher Education and Research. We also call it KAHIR. She's professor of pathology at their medical college, which is GNC. The nodal officer for the Association of Indian Universities and KAHIR, the Administrative Development Cell, director of their university Department of Education for Health Professionals, which is one of the it's a very old history and early contribution to health professions education in the country. Her professional contributions include she's a former member of the Reconciliation Board of Medical Council of India, a core member in curriculum reforms, especially in designing the CBME undergraduate medical curriculum, and contributions by MCI for implementation of the curriculum. She's also been invited by the ISM as an expert to develop a structure and plan for implementation of 50 different programs across the country for the Ayurveda, Siddha Unani, and Swarikpa faculty. And other contributions include immense contributions to the faculty development work through the nodal, the CI Center, where she was formerly convener, co-convener, and also a national consultant for other nodal centers. She has actively, been involved in scholarship, contributed 4 chapters in textbooks, and particularly new and innovative is the navigator and gamification and digital tools in medical education. National Faculty for Basic and Advanced Courses by NMC, and resource person for over 250 regional, state, national, and international educational programs. She has 38 publications to her credit, along with research papers presented and best papers awards at various fora. So a very warm welcome, and I will not spend more time. You have such a lot of experience in not only within medicine, but in other health professions and their development. And of course, as a teacher, as a faculty in a medical college, dealing with the problems that you're going to talk about today, mental health challenges in health professions education, a silent crisis or an overlooked epidemic. So very warm welcome and look forward to hearing you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the nice introduction as well. And for this, opportunity. It's an honor for me to be here on the platform of AHPE and share our experiences. Myself and Josna have already discussed about it. So thank you, madam. Thanks to all my AHPE office bearers for this opportunity. I hope I'll be able to do justice to whatever your expectations are out of me for this session. Shall I start sharing?
Yes,
Yes, please.
go ahead. Yeah.
My slides are visible?
Yes.
I'm audible as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So, thank you once again. With thanks, I carry greetings from Jain Medical College and KLE Academy of Higher Education and Research, Belagavi, Karnataka, to all of you over here. Yeah. So, today's topic, as we have discussed, mental health challenges of health professions educators in India, a silent crisis or an overlooked epidemic. Before beginning, my heartfelt gratitude to all the AHP and AHP office bearers for this opportunity, my mentors in medical education and FAMER mentors, my mentors and teachers at Jain Medical College, Belagavi, and my colleagues and friends at Dome, JNMC, and my faculty of different medical colleges who have given valuable inputs directly and indirectly to this talk of mine, and my students from whom I keep learning every day. So the objectives for the next 45 minutes would be, let us understand the magnitude of mental health issues among health professions educators in India and the factors contributing to the mental health issues, the coping mechanisms to deal with the mental health issues, and finally, some recommendations and suggestions for the institutional support and policy level interventions to foster mental well-being of HPE faculty in India. So before going to the magnitude of the mental health, let us understand what is mental health and some terminologies which we'll be using in my talk. So mental health, we all know and we talk about it. So it is a state of well-being that includes emotional, psychological, and social well-being, affecting how we think, feel, and act. The another definition is that mental health is a capacity of individual to feel, think, and act in ways that enhances our ability to enjoy life and deal with the challenges. So that is mental health. And it's a positive sense of emotional and spiritual well-being that respects the importance of culture, equity, social justice, interconnections, and personal dignity. There is also another term, emotional health. Usually we use interchangeably. Let us also understand what is emotional health. They both are almost similar and almost same. Emotional health is a subset of mental health, where mental health term, we use it for in a broader sense. So emotional health is the ability to manage and express one's emotion constructively, cope with the stress, and build meaningful relationships. This is an emotional health. And certain terminologies what we will be using. Of course, we are aware of it. We have been using them. Let us also just go through before using those terms. So what is stress? Stress is a state of emotional or physical tension caused by reaction to a difficult situation, demand, or change. Most of us feel it almost every day or one or the other day. I mean, very frequently. Burnout, a state of emotional, physical, and a mental exhaustion caused by prolonged or excessive stress. This also is experienced by most of us. Depression, it's a mood disorder characterized by persistent sadness, not just a transient one, and a loss of interest in activities affecting one's thoughts, feelings, and daily functioning. And then there is anxiety. Anxiety is a feeling of fear or a dread or uneasiness, often a normal reaction to the stress that can manifest physically through symptoms like rapid heartbeat, sweating, and restlessness. Emotional exhaustion is a state of feeling emotionally drained and worn out due to accumulated stress from work or a personal life or combination of both. Then the last one is a depersonalization. In one of the article which I collected, it was used, so I'm using it over here. Not a very frequent feeling that anyone experiences. It's a feeling of being detached from oneself, like an outside observer of one's own thoughts, feelings, body, or actions. Usually, this is beyond a level that is beyond emotional exhaustion, when one tends to just give up and then get detached. So after knowing the meaning of the terms, let us see, are mental health challenges real among health professions educators in India? I have collected certain data, just reviewed certain articles and searched for the literature. The literature I got was actually, I did not find many of the articles on a health professions education or a medical faculty, teaching faculty in medical colleges. There are many of the articles which are published on doctors, that is on a practitioners, how much what is the stress level of the practitioners, but not on the medical college one. Among that also, what I found was whatever are the articles are there, they are on the medical college faculty. There were hardly any articles that was published on any other health professions education, like like physiotherapy or any other ones. So I think there is a dearth of that literature. Maybe it's a scope for future literature for us. I mean, research for us. So in a study, it was conducted in 2019 in South India in Vellore. The authors found that 30 to 70% of the faculty felt moderate to high level of job stress, and 31% experienced high job stress. And this was in a survey in South India. Another survey, which was conducted in Punjab, they found that about 20 to 50% of the faculty experienced symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress, which were mild to moderate, and about 1/3 of them had moderate anxiety. But however, this was a single college study. Another study, which was conducted on a multicentric in pan-India level, found out that they identified that there was about 24% of felt that there was emotional exhaustion, and about 27% of the faculty felt depersonalization, which was extreme emotional exhaustion. And this was a systematic review. And another study conducted in Agra, from Agra, this was, they found out that about 28% of them had about a risk of burnout. And since these studies of medical faculty reported wide variation, it was a multi-center, so there was a wide variation among the different faculty. And however, among the doctors, the prevalence of burnout was from 10 to more than 60%. This was among the clinicians, practicing clinicians. Another study which was conducted by in South India by Dr. Kumar B.S. and this is, I think, one of our own, Dr. Dipti Shastri Madam is a co-author in this. They found that about 70% of the faculty felt symptoms of stress, moderate to severe stress. This was also again a multicentric study. However, about 50% of the participants were from a single medical college in South India. Majority of the studies were conducted in South India. Again, this was in a Kerala. I found that here, if you see, actually, about 40 to 55% of them felt moderate to severe stress, and about 40% felt fairly low stress. That means majority of them, almost around 75 to 80% of them felt some stress at least. But however, very interesting to know that about 18% of them had chilled out and relatively they were calm. I think we need to interview them and see how they could manage to be chilled out and calm. Now, if we look at the data starting from the year, over the years, how it has evolved. Somewhere in 2016, the workplace stress among doctors was about 18%. In 2018, it was about 27%. In 19, it was about 32%. In 2020, like somewhere around 27%. If you took together, if you take somewhere around 50% again. 2023, which is again coming to the post-COVID era, if we are seeing total together mild, moderate, and severe, whatever stress we take, majority of them, the number increases, the percentage increases. Again, in 2023, 70% of them felt. And 24, the recent most study said that it was 40 to 55% moderate to severe. However, this also, including the low level stress, this was also about 80%. So if we see the stress level has been increasing from in the last 1 decade, if you see, especially post-COVID era, maybe with the post-COVID also paralleled with the CBME for medical college faculty. So both together, I think there was increased level of stress that was perceived from the faculty. However, we cannot generalize the study to the entire medical college faculty pan-India. Because there was a lot of heterogeneity in this studies. They differed by use the instrument, the scales that were used. And since these are all stress, anxiety, these are all the perceived level and all these scales, they assess the perceptions. So it is not very clear whether actually it was how much it was. And teaching faculty and there was mixed clinicians and teacher samples were there, and the sample size was varying. The timing pre and post COVID was varying, and some of them had single college study, some of them had multicentric study, and some of them in the multicentric there was government colleges, private colleges, and deemed universities whose challenges and stress levels are definitely different. So this was just the data. However, we cannot generalize to the entire medical college faculty or a health professions education faculty. And most Indian evidence is a cross-sectional and often single center, so generalizability is a limitation here. That was about the magnitude of the mental health issues in India. I'm talking of here only in the Indian context. I have not brought out any outside country because their challenges and the magnitude is entirely different. So now coming to the next aspect, that is factors contributing to workplace stress, burnout, and mental health issues among health professions educators. So what actually causes, what are the factors that contribute to this stress level, this anxiety and perceived burnout and everything? So according to one study, the factors contributing to mental illness was excessive additional duties, more duties or a multitasking, the lack of opportunities for personal growth, the lack of motivation and work-home conflict. So there was imbalance between work and personal life balance. Another study mentioned that there was excess workload, poor salary, there was time pressures and deadlines, repetitive and boring work, probably the paperwork and other work, and a poor and unplanned work, lack of career development. If we see there is an overlap between all these studies, then feeling of powerlessness, especially felt by the junior faculty and the mid-level faculty, then lack of job security, inability to satisfy all stakeholders and interpersonal issues. This, I think, also was mentioned in the department politics or the interpersonal issues. It was mentioned in the article. According to another study, the major factor was a competency-based curriculum. This was published in 2023, where with massive changes in the syllabus, training methodology, and examination patterns for medical students added additional workload to the faculty. So excess workload apart from the core area of teaching, like, clinical work on patient care, research, publications also contributed. Administrative work for many inspections and institutions, institutional work. Then accreditations and rankings paperwork around the year. This was mentioned in these papers. And a study conducted in Bangalore concluded that the teaching of newer curriculum asked for more teacher to students ratio and recommended it is recommended that increasing the faculty by 2 to 3 folds. The whole process may cause the teachers to get more fatigued interacting with the number of students. It can also lead to compromise on the other work teachers are supposed to do, like research, publications, clinical patient care, and various administrative studies. However, I think all of us can relate to this. When CBME came in 2019, it came this way. And we poor medical college faculty, somehow we managed it with optimism. It just didn't come with the CBME. CBME came with pandemic. So that was a double challenge we had. So this is how we really, I'm sure each one of us will be able to relate to this. So that could have added definitely a stress. And you can imagine the stress on the monkey now, similar way. Now, if I can sort out from all the articles, if I separate out what are the organizational factors and the personal factors, if I look into, I'm focusing more on the organizational factors here because personal factors can be varying, can be different. One of the main factors that came out was heavy administrative or a clerical burden, which takes away the time from the core teaching and research roles for the faculty, like curriculum management, accreditation, regulatory compliance, and other things. Long working hours, excessive duties, night shifts, absence of adequate rest and relief time. Many of them reported this. And there are no work-free vacations, except for very few colleges in India. I think majority of the private colleges and deemed universities don't have vacations at all. Then role ambiguity, role overload, conflicting expectations, like teaching, clinical research, admin, so many things to do, what to do, when to do, how many to do, who will do, why one person should do, why this happens. There's a lot of, and this is not my responsibility, this is my responsibility, not my role. All these conflicts continue to be there, and that definitely add stress. And lack of autonomy, control, or insufficient resources and support, and bureaucratic delays. Bureaucratic delays, of course, this is there in the government medical college, like staff shortages, poor infrastructures, lack of autonomy, especially for the middle, junior and mid-level faculties. This is persistently pursued by them. Then work-life imbalance due to institutional culture not accommodating personal or family needs, especially for female faculty who have children, who have the marital problems, or the those who are into family, handling both family as well as work needs a little more, puts more stress on them. Then different work role and job demands also, like clinical departments. For clinical faculty feel more of a stress. They feel that clinical and teaching is additional work. Pressure to publish and research work is constantly there, since the publications have been mandatory by NMC as well, and the private organization and the private institutions and deemed universities who are going for NAC and NIRF, definitely there is a pressure to publish from everybody. Then mentorship programs for students, that adds additional burden. Then teaching obligations and multiple courses. But it's just not that we are teaching, though the staff structure is for NMC level. NMC talks of only medical college, only the medical students. However, all the private organizations and government organizations also, all of them, we also have allied sciences who we are teaching, multiple courses. That adds additional stress. Then student and patient related demands like high patient load, complex cases, emergency shifts, and dealing with sufferings and death, that also causes an emotional exhaustion. This can emotional exhaustion. Many a times, more the student problems. Sometimes there may be hostel problems. Sometimes the students come out with many other problems. So that also adds stress to the faculty. After all this, there is inadequate rest and recovery time in most of the institutions. Not all institutions have post-duty off. Not all institutions have in sufficient break times. Coming to individual or personal factors, younger age people, generally, this is a general data that less than 45 years have felt early career faculty, especially assistant and associate professors, are more vulnerable to the stress and burnout because they look forward for a career growth, they look forward for promotions, they are waiting for promotions. So there's always a little more stress and burnout among them. Then gender and family responsibilities, especially for female faculty, juggling, with domestic and professional roles, does work-life interface strain, definitely. Personal health and lifestyle factors, sometimes, with all this work, they have lack of exercise, staying away from family and home, sometimes because of the transfers, because of the doing post-graduation, children there, the family here. So that also adds to their associated higher burnout. Then all this can also lead to sleep problems and impaired recovery. So these are the personal factors. Now, I just, out of curiosity, I just put all these articles into generative AI and just asked to give the top 10 contributors based on the highest that has been reported. And surprisingly, I got this 10 factors from generative AI. That is, the top one is the high combined work, that is clinical, teaching, research, and admin work. And second one is the excessive administrative burden and the bureaucratic task. The third in that order was a long working hours, night duties, and inadequate rest and recovery. Fourth one, pressure to publish, promotion metrics, and performance targets. Fifth one is the role overload and role conflict. That is multiple competing expectations, conflicting role demands, like teacher versus clinician versus researcher and administrator, which one we have to do. And same thing, role ambiguity. And the sixth one was the lack of institutional support or low autonomy. And seventh one was a poor work-life balance and family responsibilities, especially for women. And eighth one is a high patient load, clinical complexity, and compassion fatigue. Ninth one is a younger and early career stage and lack of mentoring, faculty with lack of mentoring or a growth. And 10th one is the stigma or a poor access to confidential mental health care and poor self-care. Though there is a lot of awareness about mental health issues and the support that we need, still somewhere there is a stigma associated with, and people are still hesitant to go openly and approach for the professional help. So that also has mattered. So now we need to think, why do these matters matter to us? Whatever is the professional or the institutional factors or personal factors. They matter because they affect us in many ways. Like multitasking and multiple job roles, they cause a burnout, and role conflict causes lack of job satisfaction and emotional exhaustion. Lack of autonomy and support causes less control and makes them feel more vulnerable. And poor work-life balance and personal health issues cause reduced resilience and causes more of a stress, anxiety, and depression. And all of these contribute to high job stress, less job satisfaction, and high risk of burnout. And if this burnout and this level of stress and anxiety is persistent for a long time, if it is not relieved, not taken care of, then definitely it will go for mental health issues. I mean, causes one of the stress, the anxiety, or depression, any one of them. So what can we do about it? So yes, now we know that the stress exists, the factors exist, the stress and the mental health issues exist, and we know why it happens. So what can we do about it, and how can we handle these issues? One way is to building resilience. See, we will understand what is resilience. I'm not going in depth of how to build resilience, the resilience models and all. Some tips I'm talking here because all of us are aware of how to build resilience. We are resilient, of course. Most of us are resilient. That's why we have come up to this stage. However, I'm just giving some certain suggestions here. So what is resilience? Awareness of being resilient also helps in handling these issues, So being aware also helps. So the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or a significant sources of stress is resilience. In simple terms, it is, if we can express, it is bouncing back after any adverse event. It could be emotional, it could be physical trauma, it could be emotional tragedy, mental, whatever it could be. That stress level, the bouncing back to achieve something more or to back to the normalcy is resilience. Not just, okay, things are going on, I'm cribbing, I'm not happy, I'm carrying on is not resilience. Bouncing back is resilience. That we need to understand. So a number of factors contribute to how well people adapt to adversities. Like prominent among them are the ways in which individuals view and engage with the world, that how we view those challenges, the availability and quality of social resources, and specific coping strategies. At individual level, certain interventions can help us, like personal resilience. If you look at personal resilience, how we can handle is, of course, we all are aware about mindfulness and emotional awareness. Yes, mindfulness practices, meditation, yoga, and other things. Though we are aware, most of us actually fail to stick to it, or we fail to have the discipline in that. But of course, following this, definitely it helps. It is validated very much in the Indian faculty studies also. Then there can be cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing is a thought process, reframing our thought process from negative thought process to, like, I'm failing, I didn't do this, I didn't get a promotion, I'm not able to do this, I didn't publish. Rather than that, I'm learning to do this, I am going to do this. Converting those negative thoughts into this is also cognitive reframing, consciously, constructively. Then boundary setting and time management. Of course, time management, we have to prioritize tasks using that is something called as there are certain tools. Of course, Eisenhower matrix is there to keep work and home separate. That is one suggestion, and one thing that works is whatever the work, don't bring the work to home. Still not possible many a times when you are multitasking, but that is one strategy that can work. So Eisenhower matrix helps us, to identify the task and categorize them into urgent and important work, and then prioritize on them. We have certain tasks in our life, the day-to-day professional life, that are urgent and they're important. There are some are like they are important and they're not urgent. So that way, in a combination, if you see, there are certain tasks that are urgent and important that has to be done. So do it now. That is the priority, on top priority. That is the category A1. Then there are certain tasks that are important and that are, but not very urgent. They are important to be done, but they're not very urgent. So schedule the time to do it, plan for it. Then there are certain urgent and not very important from my point of view. It may be important from the institutional point of view, but just see if we can delegate it, because it is not very important to me, but it is urgent. It has to be done. We can delegate it. And the things that are neither important nor urgent are eliminate or delete it. That is usually a social media, a phone addiction, or something else. So just an examples of these urgent and important task. In the category A, we have something crisis, panics, like meetings, some deadline-driven projects, some inspections, NAC deadlines, and other things which have to be done. So do it now. And things that are important but are not urgent, or which can be scheduled, are relationship building or planning, preparation, implementation of systems. These are just examples. There can be anything. Professional knowledge, attending a workshop, conference, publication, research, etc. Then in the factors that are the category that are urgent and not important are like some interruptions, some calls, mails. They are of course important from the point of institution, and urgently they had to be done. So it can see if it can be delegated. Time wasters are unproductive work, and everything else comes in D, which are neither urgent nor important. So we can eliminate it or give a least priority. So if we adopt this has helped many, literature. It has helped, and it has helped us also, most of us. And I have been using it. It really helps, to work. Then other individual level interventions can be at social connectedness. It's very important that we be socially connected with other different circle other than what we are working, other than the work circle, because social support is the strongest buffer against the burnout always. To share myself, I am associated with a Sunday walkers group. Many of our friends have seen that. Every Sunday we go out for a walk, and we are from different walks of life. Sunday morning we go into the nature, walk or a trek, and then that is a very refreshing, and then things are different there. Then take care and reflective practice. Actually, keep reflective diaries or gratitude journals. That helps actually. When there are so many problems that are going on, something that is positive, and that to put it in our mind, and remind ourselves that we are blessed, we have a lot of good things, makes us feel good, and it keeps us going. It helps building a resilience. Then physical exercise is very important, whether it is yoga, exercise, gym, walking, jogging, whatever, swimming, something that needs to be in practice. Then last is, but not the least, of course, is the professional help. Or yeah, of course, one more thing, travel. And we need to, small, it need not be a big travel, small travel, whenever possible, whatever possible, little traveling, that keeps us going. And pursuing a passion. This is me, the last picture here. I had a passion. I was always wanted to learn riding bullet. And that was, I managed last year. Age is not a bar. Anytime we feel like we can always do that. That also helps us develop, that gives a confidence, and develop a personal resilience. So, so we can always do whatever we want. There are a lot of things. I'm not bringing all those aspects here. And early referral is one more thing. Somehow we have to realize, especially as we health professions educators, we know the importance of mental health. So we can approach earlier. We approach, it's better. And one more thing is, we should avoid normalization of the chronic distress. No, it's okay, it will go on, better avoid that. Recognize, be aware, recognize, and seek professional help at the earliest possible is the best one. Now, last part is coming recommendations to institutions and policy level interventions. This is what we could do. Now, what institutions or what policy level interventions can help us relieve the stress? We know that now a lot of NMC things is coming out that, that for you have to establish the mental health cell and mental health support for students. Everybody talks of students, but hardly there is anybody who talks of faculty mental health issues, to address the faculty mental health issues. I was just searching for the literature of any institutions that have any policies for mental health care of the faculty. I don't know if they exist, but at least I could not find anywhere in the literature. If any of you are here, you can share it. But however, I found in some of the other universities, non-medical universities, where they have certain structure and which cares for like some corporate offices and a corporate in the corporate work culture and some engineering colleges and Amity University, I found something like there is a structure that cares for mental health of the faculty. So unfortunately, I did not find anything for the health professions education in any of the institutions, any policy level interventions. So the organizational resilience, if organization has to help us resilient, to help us maintain our mental health, is that one is a workload rationalization, because the most common that we got was a workload, the factor that contributed. So we have to review teaching hours, the working hours. Ours is not just the teaching hours, the working hours, including the clinical work, and equal distribution of work. Somehow we have to overrule the Pareto principle of that 80-20. I'm sure most of us will agree that in any organization, it is said that 80% of the work is done by 20% of the people. And there is a lot of pressure on those, stress on those 20% of the people who are going. Probably those who felt those chilling were among these 80% of the people. In one of the study we felt was cool and chilling. So we need to, equal distribution of the work we need to look at and assign good clerical staff. And that helps a lot actually in relieving, working stress-free. So this prevents chronic exhaustion and emotional fatigue. Next one is the protected time for teaching and research. We all have been asked to do research, but we don't have a protected separate time for, I don't know how it can be implemented also in case, but dedicated, interruption-free hours for academic or a research work. Probably among the duties, 1 week and every month can be kept separately. If that works out, we'll have to look into that. So it enhances autonomy and job satisfaction and creativity. Mentoring and peer support networks. We are talking of mentoring to the students, but there has to be mentoring for the faculty also. Like junior, senior mentoring pairs like, peer buddy systems should be there here also, and faculty well-being circles should be there. So it strengthens a sense of belonging and shared coping. Supportive leadership training. Trained in empathic, all the heads of the institutions and heads of the department should be trained in empathetic leadership, feedback, and recognizing burnout signs. So this improves departmental bond and institutional bond and trust. Then wellness policies. The faculty wellness committee should be there. I have not heard of anything like that. Other than in the NAC, there is a criteria which shows, but in reality, existing is very very rare to see this. There we need to celebrate mental health days, and some anonymous counseling access has to be there for faculty as well as for students. Students, it is there. They have made availability. For faculty also, they should be made available. Then periodical faculty retreats, like going for small picnics, some small trip, or some dinners, or whatever the treats at the department, which helps them, feel that connectedness and bonding. So annual faculty well-being audits have to be there. I mean, these are just the suggestions. I don't know. I mean, felt like many of the literature also has suggested. So this normalizes help seeking and reduces the stigma. Recognition and growth opportunities. We need to appreciate teaching excellence, mentorship and innovation, not just research output. If you see many of the institutions, only research output, only publications, the faculty are assessed. If you have publications, you are great. Otherwise, teaching excellence, how you teach, who teaches, I mean, no one cares. So that needs to be, there's a lot of efforts in the teaching also. So that needs to be recognized, and some small awards, some recognition. It really keeps them motivated. It boosts motivation and intrinsic, it's a value alignment. Leave and vacation policies. There has to be balanced and flexible leave policies. As I mentioned, vacation policies in some of the government institutions we have heard, and some probably, I don't know. Previously, it used to exist. Now, none of the private organizations or deemed universities have any vacations. In fact, the leave policies are also very strict, especially because of the NMC inspections and other things. You're not allowed leave for so long. That also adds stress, because time for family, relaxation, travel, that will help, and if we have little flexible leave policies. Then whenever we want, institutions want any mandatory task and achievements, and any targets for the targets, there has to be a balanced reward and incentives and punishment policies. It's just not the punishment, it's just not the reward or anything. There has to be, every task has to be incentivized. So then the faculty keeps, are motivated. Coming to the last bit, again, this is a policy level or regulatory body interventions for the recommendations at regulatory bodies, what they can. These are the recommendations, of course, not my own. Some of them, my thoughts also. My thoughts, along with the same, in the same process. These are the most of the thoughts we got from, since we are a nodal center, we keep having regularly the BCME, ACME, CISP workshops where faculty from across the different colleges come to us. And that's what they keep expressing when we talk of this. They express the same thing, madam. This has to be there. You have to recommend to NMC. You have to recommend to the policies. This has to be there. So out of that, these are the few ones. That is, integrate faculty well-being into accreditation and quality metrics. So faculty well-being have to be, has to be made up specific matrix. Only then the institutions will take care of it. And establish a national faculty wellness and a resilience framework. Like student national framework has been established. Somewhere some support from them where anonymously they can approach. So something like that has to be there. And another important recommendation was increase student-teacher ratio because of the CBME that has come, and in all the other health professions also, not only in medical, other health professions also, now outcome-based education has come. In our universities, deemed universities are all going for outcome-based education. There is a drastic shift from the traditional curriculum to the outcome-based curriculum. So that is very demanding curriculum, which needs more of a manpower and a faculty time. So student-teacher ratio needs to be increased. Then institutionalized mentorship and peer support systems for faculty. This has been made mandatory now of late. The NMC has come up with mentorship and peer support systems and mental health support systems for the students. But similarly, it has to be there for faculty also. And there is a need to recognize and award faculty well-being initiatives. In a sense, if there is an award or a recognition or in some additional points for the colleges who have this faculty well-being initiatives, then probably the institutions get motivated, or they take these, they're happy to take these initiatives, or maybe it's begin somewhere. And then inspections to be conducted in a stipulated time so that faculty have flexibility to avail leave rather than, months together waiting and then the faculty being denied the a leave or for the whatever the personal purposes or whatever purposes. So there's a flexibility of leave should be given. Faculty should be given that some flexibility. These are the recommendations collectively that have come from. We have mailed this, of course, as a part of our nodal center and regional center. Along with the report, we keep mailing this to NMC. But however, this from the same thing I have taken and mentioned over here. So institutional interventions, finally saying that, provision of really readily accessible and confidential mental health services for faculty members, generous leave policies, family-friendly practices, and zero tolerance for discrimination and harassment would enable the creation of safe and inclusive work environment for all faculty members, which will be like, safe and a stress-free environment. So these are my references. I've already quoted them in my text. So last saying that, institutions should have empathy towards faculty who teach empathy. Other day I saw one of the Instagram reel of one of our student somewhere, medical college student. So that's why saying these are the medical colleges who talk of empathy, but who lack empathy. So somewhere it was relatable, I felt. So I just put it over here. Should have empathy towards faculty who teach empathy, who talk of empathy nowadays with EdCom and other things. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am.
Shall I stop sharing now?
Yeah, please. We are open for questions. And Sunita ma'am is all geared up to answer all questions now.
The faculty will only answer now.
So one good point was uh, Dr. Ravi Nimra has identified that in ERA's Lucknow Medical College has a Department of Happiness. You remember we met them?
Oh, yes. I was, yes, exactly, Department of Happiness. I forgot about it actually, yes.
Yes.
I'd inquired, yes. Correct. Last time when we were in conference, and in fact, I had actually spoken, also discussed also, correct.
Yeah. We
That's
wish
I'm very
that,
glad to know that, there is somebody who was taking that initiative.
yeah. We wish all institutions replicate it.
True. That is required. True, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good evening,
Um,
Sunita ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shivashakti. Shivashakti here.
Oh, yes, Shivashakti. Yes, tell me. Dr.
No,
Shivashakti.
thank you for the nice presentation. Thing is, I want to put forth one question. Like now we have looked upon all the other areas which are given to us from the institution perspective, from the accreditation and the regulators. There is one more aspect which is giving a greater stress to the teachers nowadays is students. Even though we are student-friendly teachers, the present generation, there is a lot of interference from the parents of the students actually in case of discipline. So like for example, I'll tell you a scenario. In a lab, the lab is going on, the teacher is taking the lab, and five students on a corner, they are having the mobile in the middle and they are playing it around. When the teacher goes and tells this is not to be done, you repeat this work, immediately they go and complain to the parent, and parent starts in the other way that my daughter or son doesn't want to come to college because you people are harassing and so much and so on. These days the students are very clever, especially in the those are in the private institutions. They know the institution is behind the pass percentage, so there is no issue about their results, and they know the parents are blindly following, and majority of the parents, to be frank, they are occupied with so much with their own profession and stressed in their profession, they don't have time to look into the day-to-day affairs of the students. So they take advantage of everything, and this also creates, it's not about the students being a vulnerable population. The faculty are becoming more and more vulnerable population these days. So what's your thought on that?
No, actually, this is a challenge, madam. It has been discussed yesterday. Right now, we are organizing a AIU program. And yesterday, Dr. T.S. sir spoke on mentorship. And exactly he addressed the same issues. The students come with this, and then the parents are a problem. And me being one of the wardens for the hostels, UG hostels and PG hostels, I know how the parents behave and how exactly what you said. Parents are very protective, and they believe their children that that we are harassing. That is there. And also now you can't say anything to them, no punishment or anything, because they go into mental health problems. Every time they say, I'm into depression. I'm into, I have anxiety. I'm taking medications. I mean, everybody shows that slip of, the prescription slip. So it is very difficult. Of course, I know it's a very challenging. I think what I suggest, what I feel is you can also, we have to have certain limit for that. We have to have somewhere limit. If that is the case, your mental health, this is happening, then we record it. We have mentorship, then we record and keep whatever is there, report it there. And one of our policy is that when students come repeatedly with mental health issues and this is happening and this, so we record them. If you have so many mental health issues, then you are not fit to appear for examination. You are not fit to become doctor. Go and get a certificate that, you are fit to become doctor. Somewhere then, that, I mean, I know it is not the right thing probably. I mean, but this is how we need to handle. It definitely adds stress to faculty. Yesterday, Dr. Swapnil sir also shared some incidents, in the class, like how students behave. So it is definitely adds stress to the faculty. If anybody else has any solution for this, definitely it is open, you can talk.
I think
Yeah.
student-related issues are something which will keep cropping up. But till we get back to that, Dr. Chinmay has raised his hand from a long time, and then we'll go to Dr. Himangani. Yeah, Dr. Chinmay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Excellent presentation, Dr. Sunita.
Thank you, sir.
Just I would like to share my experience of last few months. I joined as a dean, and we passed through one of the incidents of ragging, and it also included some of the mental health and suicidal tendency thoughts like that. We have passed through a few of the incidences last 3 months. So what we have started is exactly what Dr. Sivasakti has said. I think all will echo that feeling. But now it's time to, we also need to behave professionally. See what is happening in India, specifically that we are emotionally attached with our PG student, our UG students. हमारा बच्चा अपना बच्चा है, उसको कुछ होना नहीं चाहिए. We don't want to feel that uh, uh, no damage should be done to his career. And most of the time we are pampering. We are not the only their parents. We are also pampering up to some extent. So now it's time to record each and every uh, inequality or inappropriate behavior or their inefficiency in anything. For example, they are not doing thesis, they are not doing properly patient management or anything. So what we have started as a dean, we have done 2 to 3 initiative, and I think it may help few times. One thing, we have started PTM. I know it is a very people are laughing on it, but it is, we have started it, that each and every HOD will talk to all the parents of all the PG students every 6 monthly. So if in first, second, third meeting they don't have a problem, when the student fail or at the last moment before exam, the parent will not complain because they are aware that since last 2.5 years we are talking with our teacher and there is no problem. Then suddenly how the problem creates, because sometimes students are also smart, they create a mental health problem before exam. Similarly, we have started a parent teacher meeting online, and now we are also starting offline for UG students, for limited student. We also created a parent group in UG and PG. So if any voice is there, they want to complain anything, immediately it comes to us, and before it take a bigger scene or a bigger role, we can take care of it. And one more thing we did is there is one scale known as K10 scale. Those who are from psychiatry department must be knowing it. It is a 10 question scale, and it takes only 10 minutes. So what we have done, just we have started and we are going to continue it every 6 monthly. See, sometimes we feel that our students are not performing properly. हम तो ऐसा करते थे जब रेसिडेंट, और अभी आप नहीं कर रहे हो. हम बहुत सारी बात हमने ये सुना है, वी हैव हर्ड दिस, कि व्हेन वी वर रेसिडेंट वी वर परफॉर्मिंग लाइक दिस, व्हेन वी वर यूजी स्टूडेंट वी आर परफॉर्मिंग लाइक दिस, एंड यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू दिस. But this is reality. It may be fake complaint, it may be fake mental health problem, but we are going to suffer. So rather we start documenting it. And if I have written personal letter to each and every resident whose score is more than 20, officially send them to counselor. So as Dr. Josna has rightly mentioned, that now it's time that to avoid our burnout, because the now our burnout is increasing. And I also received a complaint from faculty. Sir, आपने resident के लिए तो किया, हमारे लिए क्या है? So we have started that form for faculty also, K10 scale for faculty also. And those score is more than 20, we ask them to consult first one-to-one meeting, and then we can take a psychiatrist help also. So, and one more thing, we also all need to talk to each other as you have presented today. I think 6 monthly, 3 monthly, we all need to talk to each other and share the best practices. So we all can learn from each other and come out of this issue, because it is going to be increased. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chinmay sir. आपने तो पूरा डीन होने का, whatever experiences you had, you summarized it in the last 5
No,
minutes.
I think next time we should have one session by Chinmay Shah sir, how to deal with these issues. Actually, last time
Yes.
also when he was here, we really learned from him.
Yeah,
These are
exactly.
initiatives. I really appreciate the initiatives they've
Yes.
taken, and also appreciate the initiatives taken by ERA University, that Department of Happiness. Yes, such things are need to be there, and when frequently we talk about it, we are motivated to do something about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
a
to
little
add
bit.
on to
Can I
that,
just add about the Department of Happiness at ERAS?
Yes,
What
please.
we do
Yes,
is
ma'am.
during the foundation course, we have 5-6 sessions on happiness. Not just the concept of happiness, and something where they tackle it very well. And now we are planning to have a course for all, and treat it as an elective for all the 4 years. and slowly build on it. Yeah. So that has really helped, and the students have enjoyed those sessions, So because they are also a little informal, and it is not like we're not telling them, okay, this is happiness, you be happy, that kind of a thing. It's done very well. We have people who are also trained in that whole, how to conduct it. So, yeah,
Excellent, ma'am.
thank you.
And one more thing
Sachin,
which comes to my mind is, in the global West, professionalism is given due recognition. So the attributes we address in terms of unprofessional behavior, as in students missing out on a session or not performing appropriately, or showing rudeness or not completing their work, are all documented as unprofessional behavior. And they are given warnings. And if they're continuing the unprofessional behavior, they are withheld from their progression reports as well. And so there is no onus on the faculty to pass the students. Everything is clear and neatly documented. So probably we can start off in our own institutions this particular process of defining what we call as professional and unprofessional behavior, and have a report card which can be shared with the candidate as well as with the parents. Maybe that's another approach which can be tried. Dr. Hemangini? Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you for all your inputs. Some of them were really, inspiring. And I've seen you at ECME also when you come to us as an observer. Not ECME, sorry, BCME. You have really shared the various initiatives that you do, even at a personal level, to reach out to the students and improve their health. So kudos for that. What we have started is something on similar lines with Dr. Chinmay, sir, is we have started some kind of PTA meetings. Just like they have PTA in school for the undergraduate students, we have started this. And we keep an open day where the parents are supposed to come and meet the various faculty of that phase. Like, say, first year students, first years, they'll meet only the three departments, and at physio, biochem, and maybe community medicine. That way, each phase they come and meet. And I personally have spoken to parents of these. Actually, not all turn up, but the ones who come up, they have a lot of questions to ask about their students, because the students, their children don't share things at home. So they are alien to knowing what is going on in their lives or anything like that. In fact, they want to know more from us. कि what do they do, is they ये कर रहा है क्या, वो कर रहा है क्या, attention पे कर रहा है क्या. And when they have a conversation at home, if the parents are trying to tell the children anything, they say तुमको ये कुछ मालूम नहीं होगा, like, you don't know, it is so much of studies, you don't understand, that is, you are not, especially if they are non-doctors, or they are, uh, people from other profession, or some of them are not very well off in terms of education maybe. So they don't really share things with their parents at home, and there is a lack of communication at home itself between the parents and the children. So I do not know whether they have any forum to express, and then they, I think, express it with their peers, and that gets carried away. Maybe that is one thing. The second thing I feel is they observe faculty, because I have seen the faculty themselves are having, kind of infighting, or they are having a certain kind of difference of opinion, which is very unprofessionally put across, or whatever. They are very smart to map different, situations, and then they also feel कि, कि instead of teaching us, पहले आप लोग ढंग से करो, kind of a thing. Then you tend to, maybe it has been there in some places, but this is something I've noticed with the students. So we just can't feed them what we feel is right. We have to also act right first. And then we tend to, I'm not saying we don't do it, but maybe sometimes we are also very unprofessional. We sometimes pass very nasty remarks, or we say nasty things to them, especially for exams, or we have seen examiners also sometimes can do it. So these things are also adding to it. This is my little small observation.
appreciate your
Yeah, it's a very tough situation, as I understand. I think Dr. Mangala has raised her hand for a long time. Thank you, Dr. Hemangini. And then some more hands are raised, Jyotsna.
yeah, Dr. Mangala,
Yeah,
Dr. Abhijit.
after the hands, then I will also to
I think
add,
let
but first the
Abhijit
people
sir
who
go
have written.
first. I think he has raised earlier than me. I would ask Abhijit sir to go ahead first.
Yeah, Dr. Abhijit
Okay.
has posted his question also. So some examiners are sort of inconspicuously pressurized to pass their students, both
Good
under
evening,
UP
ma'am.
and PT. Yeah, is that your question, Dr. Abhijit? Can we have a
Yes,
short
ma'am.
question and get
Yes,
our
ma'am. Yes,
expert to
ma'am.
speak? Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
it's commonly seen for both UG and PG exam. The type of stress I recently had at some exam a few months back was that XYZ professor, that's his last tenure for exam, and then he will be retiring from the government service, and he does not want any taint on his career or whatever professional life. So you better keep a healthy environment, healthy in the sense passing environment in the whole exam. So these kinds of things, then the parents calling up examiners or the students, the mothers usually come and typical Hindi picture dialogue ऐसे पल्लू फैला के ऐसा ये करेंगे कि मेरे बच्चे को पास करो सब तुम्हारे हाथ में है और the kind of behavior and like Hemangini madam really pointed it out that students are very smart. They know which of the faculties have conflict with each other and they play a very what do you call as smart game कि भाई जो एग्जामिनर आने वाला है या जिसका अभी बारी है एग्जाम का दे विल रन बिहाइंड हिम एंड देन दे विल इग्नोर एवरीथिंग whatever is happening in ward work or for that matter in academic circles. So ma'am, any inputs on how to tackle some of these issues like especially related to exam?
Shall I answer that, sir?
Yes ma'am, please please please.
No, we have to be very firm, sir. We need not take stress over there. It happens with all of us. If the student deserves, yes, of course, I do agree, as Dr. Shivashakti mentioned, for certain things, you mark that professionalism and all that happened. In deemed universities, it's very difficult. Because deemed universities are very student friendly, we cannot be. But however, nobody forces us to pass the student who, whether it is deemed university or anything. If they don't deserve, no, let them do it. They do it, the drama, sir. We need not get, we need not succumb to that. We have to be very specific. We don't do that. I don't think that, at least I don't feel that is a big stress to us. We should not take that stress. Let them not drama. Let them do it. If they deserve, they get it. Otherwise, where will we go, sir? Tomorrow, if the student passes, you imagine if that student has to treat me. I will not be confident enough to go under treatment for that student.
Exactly ma'am, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Mangala.
Yes,
Thank you
thank you.
ma'am, thank you.
And some more, just point, again, we are going into the student aspects. Actually, we ignore ourselves. That's what we were thinking. Again, we are going into the student aspects. Students के लिए हम लोग ये कर रहे हैं, students के लिए हम लोग वो कर रहे हैं. Faculty लिए क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग?
Let's bring the questions to ourselves. Dr. Mangala.
Yes, thank you. Ma'am, I have a question is, you said that time peer mentoring within the faculty
There are hands
itself.
raised, no? I think Chinmay, Swapnil, Dr. Ravi has also raised for a long
Dr.
time.
Mangala had not asked her question, ma'am. So
Answered.
she's
Okay,
asking
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
First.
You were mentioning that time peer mentoring between the faculty, like the junior faculty being guided by a senior faculty. But we see a lot of problem with that, ma'am. Like not all senior faculty are ready to share their experiences. They feel that it is an hard-earned experience. Why should I give it off to a junior just like that? Let them learn it on their own selves. Let them do it the hard way. So what do you say? Is it real? It will be really worthwhile if they really share it with us. But if not shared, can they guide us in some way? Anything, any insight on this, ma'am? I was impressed when you told that because we have struggled all the way and came till this level. But yeah, I would love to have some guidance.
No, ma'am. All I can say is make them attend this leadership workshop, train them for leadership workshops. I've also mentioned in my slide there, they need to be
Yes.
trained because they're not aware. They're not
Right.
aware of this. Actually, FAMER has taught me sharing. Even I think
Yes.
probably in 2011, I never shared my PPT with anybody. I was very hesitant. I have prepared this seriously. And I was very, very hesitant when somebody asked PPT for PPT. I was very hesitant. But when I did my FAMER, I was
Yes,
surprised
ma'am.
there. You ask for one help and 10 people will send you PPT.
Yes,
And
I
then
agree
that's where
with
I
you.
learned sharing. That's where
Yes.
I learned sharing. And now I don't
Mm.
have, I mean, those who have done ACME with me, Dr. Abhijit Raita is there. I share
Yeah.
all my PPTs openly now.
Yes,
They,
ma'am.
they need the training. The thing is, they're not aware. That's why those workshops are important. We need to have those
Yes,
leadership
that
workshops.
leadership quality. Yes, ma'am. FAMER, I agree with you. Even my FAMER topic is on mentor-mentee only. I've done mixed
No, at
method,
least
and most of the points which you have mentioned, actually there is that lacune. In the mentor side, they say we don't have sufficient training. This side, the mentees are like, we lose the connect with the faculty. We don't match so well. We don't gel better. So I agree
the
with
training
most
is
of
required.
points.
Such
Training is
training are
required.
required in the college.
And
That's why institution has.
open-mindedness is required, ma'am. Everyone should have that
No,
to
ma'am,
accept.
to be open-minded also training is required. I feel so. This is what I feel.
Okay, ma'am.
Because how will one realize, how to be open-minded? Only when there is
Correct.
training in the training when we realize.
Yes,
This is what
yes,
my
yes.
perception.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
anybody else wants to share, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Any
Thank
other
you.
perception?
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Ravi?
Yeah, madam. Hi, good evening, madam. Hello, Sunita, madam.
Yes,
Hope
sir.
you are
Yes, sir.
doing
Good evening.
great.
Thank you, sir.
Madam, is there any difference between government and private medical colleges when you are collecting the data?
Sir, in collecting the data, actually, there was a lot of variation. I did not get anything separately from government and private medical colleges because single college study, what was done was from a private college, and the combined study that was done was the survey was for mixture of all. So as per the evidence, I don't have any specific data about the government college and a private college, sir. But
Okay.
as we have discussed, we all know there are certain challenges, different challenges. Government college people have different challenges,
Exactly.
and private colleges have different challenges, but all of us are under stress.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I felt like students are under more stress in government and teachers are under more stress in private.
I do agree with that, sir. By the perception, but of course, we don't have any studies that prove that.
Yes, yes. Hope we can do one study like that, madam.
We will. Let us, sir.
And madam, why not a policy can be made at NMC level for the well-being of both the students and the faculty? Like, it has to be made mandatory that Department of Well-being should be there in the medical college, so that during the inspection time, they make sure that it's there.
Yes, sir, exactly. That's what my recommendations were written where like all the faculty also keep telling the same thing. But yeah, somebody has to, I mean, we are along with the report we write, of course. I don't know how much it will be collected and read over there in NMC, but somebody we will have to write somewhere, I think, together. Maybe AHP can take lead. Josna?
Yeah, Dr. Sucheta ma'am is here and
Yes,
Payal ma'am is here.
Payal ma'am, yes.
They are very vocal on supporting emotional health. Payal ma'am and Sucheta ma'am, any ideas for the future?
I think first is
Yeah, I think
communication. Most
yeah.
important thing is communication. Well, sometimes small episodes or we should not let the small episodes escalate into something which we cannot then handle. And rely on your sixth sense. When someone comes and talks to you, don't just brush it off. It maybe try and read between the lines. Try and read as to why did this person say this in this kind of a tone. So many aspects. If you are a good listener, can open up to us, and all this will come with practice. Practice in the sense with being aware and being open to these kind of overtures that come your way. That is a learning that I've had. I mean, I think I was very naive in the beginning, of my career. But with time, and yet with time, maybe I have improved, but yet there have been one or two episodes where I felt I missed something, Nothing serious happened, but yet, I felt that, array, how come I could not catch that, So but I'm trying to be as vigilant and as careful as possible, especially when I talk to our first years. We remember that being a biochemist, the students come to us at a level where people, they've just left home and they're from all over the all over India, and if simple things like the mess and the food troubles them, and it can be very traumatic, which is very surprising. I thought kya hai usme. I mean, yesterday only I had this class with our students, no, and I was just informally talking to them, and I said, one of them said, we get potato every day. And he was stressed about that. He was very upset about that. But I said, see, potato is something that most people like more, and that is why maybe the other sabzis are there, but one sabzi will always is a potato, so ignore that potato. But और क्या बोल सकते हैं? I mean, see, they're so छोटा ना and simple. Yeah, thanks. Hmm.
Payal ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there were a couple of hands raised, so I was waiting for them to talk. Then I'll just
Yeah, I think
kind of also, I had a slightly different this thing. Maybe Chinmay can help with the answer. But first, I think Chinmay's hand was still raised. I don't know if it's still raised. Swapnil is still raised.
I was
Chinmay has left,
missing.
or he's there?
Yes,
Can I speak? Yeah.
Chinmay sir has brought his hand down, but I was missing Swapnil's hand being raised. It wasn't evident before. So, Dr. Swapnil, please go ahead.
Yeah, madam, I had I'd shared with you through Chinmay. Yesterday, I had a bitter experience with the students just 15 days back, and I thought it was more due to the pampering they got for the foundation course one. But what do faculty do when such things happen, and when the institutional checks and mechanisms are not there to handle it in a robust way? That previously also the institute is letting by these breaches of professionalism from the students.
So can you please narrate again so that everybody also gets to know what the problem is, and maybe you can get inputs from others also.
Means I had taken 2 lectures on the history of medicine where I showed a number of clips and all, and then I was requested to take another lecture between 12 to 1, and I did a Slido uh, on procrastination. I asked them about when they must have procrastinated. At that time, it was like about 12:50, 12:55, and on the Slido, I received a bunch of expletives. I mean, I just cannot tell what they had said, but I actually at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, I bought the Slido app, and then I, through the profanity filter, I could see on the Excel sheet all the expletives. And for me, it was first of its kind. I have done many 1-minute papers where students have written very well. Like Chinmay knows, I was under Chinmay for so many years, and this in new college, and I was just taken back. And on that intervening night, I had a very tough time. Like I had nobody, but I could contact Chinmay, my old buddy, for even at 12 o'clock in the night, and like that. So I had a very tough time dealing with these expletives which were written in the Slido.
I think if Chinmay sir is there, he's the best person to answer, I think, for such things. He has handled most of these things.
Yeah, no, I think if I may say here, I completely empathize and understand. It must have been very traumatic. And like I think one of your slides, Dr. Sunita said that, if we teach empathy, I know Swapnil is a very empathetic person. And so if we teach empathy, then we should get empathy, so that is from the institution. They should have, I don't know what kind of support you got from them, but if I were in that situation, I would definitely, extend, as Suchita ma'am said, a listening this thing as to, what could have led to it, and then, further taken required action as far as the students are concerned. So yeah, and Chinmay is there. Definitely, he should add to the experience. So also, Sucheta ma'am, and I don't know if Nima ma'am is still there, with the experience of many years and dealing with so many students at the same time.
See, I also told Swapnil this, that sometime I think we should take a stand as faculty. We should not let it touch our hearts and souls to such an extent that it troubles us. What they did is their problem. I mean, don't let it hurt you so
Hmm.
much that it affects you mentally, and that is why even physically. So we have to learn to compartmentalize our lives, and don't let it now see, then your family will because you may have talked to your mother, you may have talked to whoever is around, and then it sort of starts a cycle, and then they worry, and then they worry for us also. I mean, suppose I keep on saying this at home, that, oh, I'm so upset at why did this person behave like this, and so that compartmentalization will come with time. But I can say now, I think over the last 2-3 years only, I can say that I have been able to say "Jane do, chhod do," but that's after so long.
Hmm.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
madam.
I think it requires practice to be able to be become not we don't want to harden up and lose our empathy, but then at the same time we have to be strong enough to be able to deal with situations like this. So it requires practice on our side also. So I don't know, I guess you get repeated situations where not only with students but in other situations. Yeah. So actually, I had a question for you, Dr. Sanita. It was that, we are all, so it seems like our literature will be very different from many other parts of the world, because we are going through this whole, everything is so related to CBME and the new generation of students versus, the generation gap between students and teachers. That's the discussion going on almost for the last half an hour. But there's so much other literature on, fatigue and burnout related to patient care, and also like some more literature from other health professions like nursing and all. In nursing literature, when you read, you get compassion fatigue, because nurses, the kind of duties they do all the time, and they're always caring for the patients. Doctors just come, do their job, go away, and nurses spend the entire time looking after them. Their 8 hours go in being nice to the patients, and there is an entity known as compassion fatigue
Yes, ma'am.
among nurses. So that is something interesting to learn more about. And also among doctors, like there was a talk of private versus this thing, government. I think in government, patient load is a lot. So do doctors also express fatigue related to that? I know from the US, you will get a lot of literature because the doctors have to do so much of paperwork and written work and all, besides caring for the patient and other things. So a lot of our literature is more focused on students and us, versus Western literature being focused on fatigue around patients and duty hours and all those things. So any comments from like Chinmay is dean, so current dean. So I was thinking he could give, and of a government college. So there might be some this thing from him.
I think Chinmay had to leave. Not sure he's here, ma'am.
Okay.
Madam,
Yeah.
can I ask a
So
doubt? Like, I didn't understand, like,
yeah.
was the response, like, aspects were vocal or on the screen?
Dr. Ravi, can you please
Sorry.
rephrase your question?
Yeah, sir was saying that there was a response from the students which was not good. Was
Okay.
it shown on the screen or was it vocally done?
No, it was seen on the screen, he said.
Which means that something like Mentimeter was used.
Yes, Slido was used, but it was hidden by the profanity filter in it. And then,
Oh.
and
Generally,
then
we can
when
trace back, sir, but in Mentimeter also we can do that. But it happened once like that for me also. Generally, when the freshers are there, when the new students are there, they try to do that.
okay,
They are more proactive like that. But I felt like later I try to look at it in a positive way. When I was
Yes.
thinking about it, I felt like it's only because I'm trying to make a difference in them, they are responding like that. If I don't bother at all, maybe I won't get any response, which means that everything is being counted. Initially, they may think like that, but later,
Yes.
after the class was over, I got some responses from some students after 10 days, which they said that they were very happy for what it has happened. Some of the students were very rude or like that, but either extreme was there. But finally, when we're trying to do something good to make a difference in the students, we get some
Yes.
responses like that. Even that can be taken as a positive one.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and in the Eastern philosophy, it is said that we have to convert all these negative experiences into positive ones. So,
Because you have tried, you got that response, sir. If you don't try, we don't get. It's better to try only instead of being silent.
okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and another way you can look at it, Dr. Swapnil, is like this. The world around us will keep throwing stones. They'll keep throwing barbs. But if we respond to everything or we allow those barbs and thorns to get into us, we cannot survive. We cannot perform. So it is for us to learn to build barriers. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to introspect as to what hits you actually and how you're going to build a barrier to ensure that it doesn't happen again. So that could be the way of converting a negative experience into a positive learning lesson. Maybe that's something we can do.
Thank you
Uh,
much for your
Yes, and that will come with time, slowly. True.
yes. Yeah. Dr. Deepthi has made a very poignant remark. She says, I gather all of us are passionate medical educators who take the adversities personally. We must practice salutogenesis or sense of coherence and take our lives in our hands. How long are we going to be the victims? We are going to start looking at ourselves as empowered people. External factors would not affect us if we strengthened our adversity quotient. Yeah, very true. Are there any other comments and suggestions? We are down to our last 5 minutes now. Dr. Sunita ma'am.
Yeah, I think it turned out as a actual dialogue. A lot of discussions for more than half an hour, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, about 30 to 40 minutes discussions. It turned out to be. I don't think, like, I feel at this level, until and unless we have experienced something, some situation, and faced it, there is no correct answer or there is no answer to everything. I feel. I
Yes.
think we just go on finding answers to our stress in what way we can deal, and there's no right and wrong answer as we know. It's just what works for us. We'll have to see, and how we can manage stress. But still, I feel we can stress upon institutional policies if, taking role model as ERA University and what Dr. Chinmay Shah sir has done. We all need to, at least our level somewhere, we have to start, I feel.
Yes. And having seen you facing your challenges at multiple levels, professional, academic, personal, but seeing you smile at the end of the day, that gives hope, right? And what I really appreciate about your efforts and work is your commitment to psychology. You chose to do a course in it entirely. And you wanted to not only learn it, but also share that knowledge with other colleagues. And in many other forums, you have been sharing this information, ma'am. So, really wonderful job. Thank you so much for being over here. And
Thank
now
you.
I invite Payal, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sunita. I think it was one of the best dialogues we have had in our series, and since it's the last one we have together before the NCHP now, I hope lots of us will be there and we get to meet, and the dialogues will continue. I think the plan is to increase them to two next. The next Dr. Sucheta will be taking over as president now. So in that term, and Jyotsna is going to continue as secretary. So we really look forward to more and more such dialogues. And yes, I think your dedication, as Jyotsna said, to this should enable, you should find a way to disseminate it even more. And also, I think many of the challenges which got outlined today, as you said just now, in conclusion, that either, like Suchita ma'am said, ki, it will take its time. And as you said, that we have to find our own solutions. I think we still we can keep on trying to, flesh them out more and see as to, the culture needs to change. So how can we do that? So some food for thought, and we'll continue the dialogues into the future. So thank you so much once again. And thank you all for all the very, very engaging participation and being present throughout the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity. I keep doing, I mean, it's my passion and I'm getting opportunity for my passion. So thanks to all of you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you. And we hope to see many of you at NCHP 2025 next week. And let's continue our dialogues. And probably the next year, we might have more dialogues coming in as we transition from Payal ma'am to Sucheta ma'am. Everyone is going to be around us to give us all the inputs we need to make the organization also grow better and bigger. On that note, good night and see you all next week at NCHP 25. Thank you.
Good night.